Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Art World Confessions. So today I have a confession to make. For years I thought the painting Adele Bloch-Bauer was owned by one of the owners of the museum, the Neue Gallery. I thought one of the Lauders owned that painting for some reason. I guess because of their background as collectors and their own particular heritage. I never realized that Oprah Winfrey owned that painting for 10 years. This painting is by Gustave Klimt, and it was a contested painting for many years. Eventually the owners sold it, I guess, at auction, and the buyer was Oprah Winfrey. I think at the time it was a record-breaking price of $80-something million or something like that. So for years this painting was owned by an African-American woman, and I never realized it. So apparently she sold it at 70-something% interest profit. I guess she sold it for like $150 million 10 years after having purchased it. So this might have been in 2016, and some Chinese collector bought it. So, I mean, I don't know why it never occurred to me that Oprah Winfrey owned one of the most valuable Gustave Klimt paintings in the history of the art market. And I learned the story recently because Lady with a Fan, 1918 I think it was, by Gustave Klimt, recently sold at auction for, I think the hammer price was 74 million. And then you add all of the commissions and all of the fees, whatever it is that's added, it's probably another 10 million. So this is also a big painting, and not many of these come to market. So it's very cool to see such works that were created such a long time ago, and beautiful works by one of the greatest painters, I would say, in Western art history. And I just, I don't like to harp on about the art market, but what is cool about the art market is that from time to time, works that have been held in private hands become available for the public to see. So for a short time during the auction previews, you can go into the auction houses. Most of them are open to the public, and you can see these masterworks that have been in storage more likely than not. Sometimes they've been hanging in the owner's home, but very often they're kept in secure locations to preserve their quality, and then they're sold again 10 years later as assets. I mean, Oprah was great in the sense that she really shared Adele Bloch-Bauer with the world. She shared it in many museums. It was shown around, and in some ways too, that's part of the marketing strategy for the painting, that it develops a provenance that allows it to be resold at a higher value because it has been verified many times over by these institutions as a masterwork. So I just wanted to point that out this week on this week's episode. I mean, I think people have underestimated how great an investment art can be. Some people are aware of it, and as one person mentioned, not everyone has 80-something million sitting around to make an investment. So perhaps that's part of the reason. One reason I've heard from some finance guys that I know who have some money, maybe not 80 million sitting around, but they basically say, they don't invest in art because they don't understand it. I guess they just don't take the time to learn about it as they do about other assets that they do understand and that they do invest in. I mean, for me, buying art has never been about investment, but I do hope at some point whatever I bought appreciates. I mean, we all do. I have bought and sold things in the past, but right now I'm kind of sitting on a few works that I've had for years and I love. For example, this painting in the back by Uri Dotan. It's from one of his series that has to do with clones. And I mean, he did this in the early 2000s when the idea of clones was still very fresh, and all of this digital art and new media art was very fresh and very new. And his whole series, I thought, was so genre breaking, was so huge at the time, and it's still huge. I mean, in some ways he was a precursor to a lot of the stuff that we see now. And when I look at this stuff and I look at some of the painting that's out there in auction houses selling as contemporary art, I just roll my eyes, because at the end of the day, some of the works are selling basically because they've gotten into collection that then has been able to leverage it, and the price goes up and up. So now it's an asset that cannot lose value. So people keep buying it, even though it may not be a good work. It's in the market and it has an established price, so it keeps selling, and whatever. I mean, like, whatever. But I think that's it for today's episode. I mean, look out for Gustave Klimt short in the short section of the channel, and I'll post something soon. I posted something about another art market darling, Amedeo Modigliani, and I posted this because, again, it just is so strange that you can't post nudes on YouTube. I mean, some great nude paintings cannot be shown on this platform, and it's kind of ridiculous if you ask me, but that's a whole other topic. So check out the shorts. There are lots of Western art history figures that I show from time to time, and you might enjoy that as well. Please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell notification button, and come back again to see another episode of Art World Confessions. Have a great week and a great summer.